Hello and welcome to exfidebibles. My name is Ethan. So today I wanted to share my 40th Bible Rebind with you guys. And what makes this one a little bit special is that it's a leather that I've never used before. And the next Rebind that I'm going to share, number 41, is another leather that I have never used before. But this one, if you have been in the Bible Rebind world or have watched reviews, Tim Nichols or Tim Frisch or Tim Wildsmith, all of those guys, have mentioned this leather before. So it doesn't really need much of an introduction. So this leather is really, really unique and very special in the Rebind world. This leather is called Horween Chromexcel. And what makes this leather unique, a number of things. For one, Horween Chromexcel is the product of probably one of the best United States located tanneries. Horween is a world renowned tannery, and if people overseas, when they think of American leather, often they think of Horween. Horween Chromexcel is a really unique leather in that it has a really it's really hard to describe, a really unique texture. So Horween Chromexcel is really smooth and kind of waxy, but, not waxy in the way that, like a Badalassi Carlo is waxy. This is kind of like a slippery, kind of like waxed surface feeling leather. Really, really nice feeling. So I wanted to share this Rebind with you. So this is a Rebind for a return customer, a guy named Josh or Joshua. I'm not sure which he prefers, but and what's cool about this Bible is that he sent me this Bible, and he chose the leather, and he chose stitching, and he chose blind stamping. But other than that, he kind of like let me do whatever I wanted on it, which was super cool. So on this Bible, I did I think I did a little bit more than a 3/8 inch yap on this one. This is a ESV single column verse by verse preaching Bible. This actually had a goatskin cover on it from the factory, but it was a really, really cheap goatskin. And Josh knew that, those Chinese produced Crossway Bibles, he knew that those, while they have a cheap, goatskin cover, they have really nice paper in them. And I can tell you, I confirm that, these Chinese produced ESVs, while the goatskin is not very high quality, the paper is very good quality. So I was very pleased about that. This is again, Horween Chromexcel forest green, which I think is really cool. And on the spine, I did blind stamping, 5 hubs, and my simple branding here, exfi. And as far as the ribbons go, I did a gold, a kind of forest green, kind of dark teal, and a burgundy, which I think is a great combination, if I say so myself. And I did brown and white. I don't know if you can see that, but brown and white head and tail bands on this guy. And because from the feel of it, Horween is a more firm leather, I used a Napa sheepskin or Napa lambskin for the liner. I was afraid that if I used that new aniline calfskin that I've been using on some of my Bibles, the cover would be too rigid. And I'm really glad I did. This cover feels great. This combination of soft lambskin with firm cowhide on the cover is just a great combination. And I did a stitch perimeter in MBT thread from Rocky Mountain Leather. Happy with how that turned out. I did a 5/16 or 7/16. Let's see. Can't remember exactly. 5/16. I did a 5/16 fold over on this Bible, which I really like for kind of my if I do like a semi yap, if I do, about a 3/8 inch yap, I really like doing 5/16 fold over. I like, cause when you fold, the Bible over the block, you want some flexibility there. And I really like how the 5/16 like remains flexible. So yeah, really happy with this. So a couple things about Horween that makes it really unique is that it has a little bit of pull up, which is interesting. So you can see like around this block, that this, forest green leather, kind of discolors a little bit, which is the pull up effect. So. Get a close up of the spine. So as you can tell, Horween is really, really smooth. So what makes Horween a little bit sometimes difficult to work with is that it kind of has the opposite has an opposite characteristic of Battlelassie Carlo Waxy. So with Battlelassie Carlo Waxy, if you scratch the leather, you can actually, with a little bit of friction and warmth from your hands, you can actually cause that scratch to go away. But with Horween, actually the opposite is true. It doesn't have that same effect. So like this little scratch right here is kind of around to stay, which is unfortunate. So I will say that Horween is not only is it expensive, generally it's easy to work with. Like I found stitching it to be a breeze and, doing the foldovers to be a breeze and all of that. It's just with working with Horween, you have to be very careful not to make sure you cut your fingernails and, make sure you don't scratch this leather. Like picking up the Bible, you really have to use kind of the pads of your fingers instead of like the tips of your fingers, because if you don't, you will scratch the leather and it'll probably be permanent. So that's one thing to know if you want to get a Horween Rebind, is that it shows wear, definitely. Like it's on the continuum of showing wear versus kind of looking new all the time. Like you have Battlelassie Carlo, which kind of like it ages and it patinas over time, but unless you have a really, really deep scratch, Battlelassie Carlo will really look kind of new and pristine for a long time. Same with goatskin. Goatskin is a very durable material, and it will look new for a long time. But with Horween, you do show wear. Like if you're throwing a Horween Bible in your bag every day, and it's bumping against pens and maybe a bulletin from church, or rubbing against your journal, or if like your journal has a flap with a button on it, it's rubbing against your Bible, that will make your Bible show wear, your Horween Bible. But that might be what you want. So definitely take that into consideration when you go to choose your leather. But I will say that as far as overall feel, Horween is probably the best feeling leather that I've worked with so far. Maybe with the exception of Missouri from La Perla Azura. I still love that leather, and it's incredible. So, I mean, Horween blind stamps so well because of the smooth, kind of glossy waxy finish on the leather. The blind stamping just turns out so well. I'm really happy with how it blind stamps. And the raised hubs just stand out so pronounced because of that small amount of pull up and because of the smoothness of the leather. And obviously I had to take a lot of care making these hubs because, if my tooling tool like were to slip, the tooling mark that I would create from that error would be permanent. So I took a lot of time working on this one and making sure that it stayed as pristine as possible. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So again, this is my 41st Bible. This is Forest Green Chromexcel. So I'll show a couple of I'll do some close-ups here of the stitching and the corners and everything. So if you're interested in purchasing a Horween Bible Rebind from me, I will say that this leather is more expensive, but it's not, leaps and bounds more expensive than like a Badalassi Carlo Rebind from me. So if you're interested in learning about some pricing for this leather, or any of the other colors that they offer a lot of different colors. They offer a blue, which I'm going to be working in here really soon. They have a bunch of different browns. They have a burgundy, like a reddish burgundy, and a natural as well, which looks really interesting. So if you're interested in purchasing a Horween Bible from me, definitely let me know and I can give you some pricing, but it will be a little bit more expensive than like a Badalassi Rebind. It's hard to get. This leather is hard to get and expensive to get as well. So I think if I remember right, it's about 20. Like if I was to get a panel, just a single panel of Horween shipped to me, it would be about, I think it's like 25% or maybe upwards of like 40% more expensive than Badalassi Carlo. And that's just because the leather's hard to find. I can only get it from one source. Shipping is expensive, etc. So if you're interested in getting a Horween Bible from me, I can definitely provide you a quote. And definitely stay tuned if you like this leather, because I have a Horween Bible that I'm going to be working on here in March, as well as one in either June or July. I have one planned as well, a waitlist customer. So definitely let me know if you're interested in purchasing a Horween Bible Rebind. And they also have a number of other leathers too that are really interesting. Horween is not a singular type of leather. Although when people say Horween, they more than likely are referring to Chromexcel. Horween is the tannery, and the tannery offers a number of other leathers, some that are maybe more similar to Badalassi Carlo Waxy, which is a really popular leather. So if you're interested in exploring some of the Horween options for a Bible Rebind and pricing in regards to that, definitely let me know. So thank you for watching. This is Ethan from exfidebibles.